Hello everyone, welcome to the first lecture of the Introduction to Python. In this lecture, we will learn about what is Python, how exactly it came into existence, who is the creator, what are the uses of the language, how to install it on your machine, how to install the IDE for this, and so on. So to begin with, we will check out what exactly Python is and how to use it. So coming to about Python, Python is a high-level language. It's completely object-oriented, and it was developed or created by Guido van Rossum. Okay, and it's very lucid, simple, easy to use. The syntax is quite like the natural language that we use. And it has a wide range of applications from like web development, scientific and mathematical computing to desktop graphical user interfaces like creating games and programs. You can also create custom programs like the motion detector for your camera and all that. Okay, so that was a brief about Python. Moving on to the history of the Python. Python is a fairly an old language, but got its uh, like you can see that it started to gain popularity in the field of data analytics and like in research and development a lot in recent years like R. The main reason is that it is being an open source like R when compared to other services or other languages like SSAS, SSRS, and all that. And it was developed in late 1980s by Rossum. Was working on Amoeba Distributed Operating System Group, and he wanted to create a language with a simple communication and easy to understand syntax. Okay, and this brought Python into existence. We do have other languages like C, C++. Like C++ is also an object-oriented language, but the syntax there is very strict when compared to Python. The versions of the Pythons that we have are first version, the release for the local use came into existence in 1994 with version 1.0. Then we had a lot of versions like 1.6, 2.0, 2.7, 3.0, 3.5, and the latest one that we have is the 3.6 version of Python. The features of Python is it's a simple language which is easier to learn, free and open source, portable. That means that the code can be adjusted with other languages, extensible and embeddable. You can embed this into various programs and other languages as well. And it has a large set of libraries, not only from Python source, but also like user created libraries, being this an open source. So that helps a lot in data analysis, web development, application development, and this is an object-oriented language. The reason we choose Python as the development language or the first language to learn nowadays instead of C or C++ is because of its simple and elegant syntax. It's not overly strict. Expressiveness of the language, that means that it is more or less similar to the normal English that we use, though it has its own grammar or syntax that you have to follow. Otherwise, you will get syntax errors there. And great community support from like python.org or GitHub, where you can, or Stack Overflow, where you can get any answers to your questions. If you have any questions while developing a program or an application, Stack Overflow, GitHub could be a great resource to get answers. Now it comes to who uses Python. It makes a great impact to know where exactly the language is used before learning. So I thought to put this in place. Like Google uses Python, PBS, NASA, Library of Congress, and the other various organizations make extensive use of Python programming. So let's get started. Now, first thing is that installing Python. To install Python, you first have to download Python, and for that, you need to go to python.org. Let me open Chrome. So you can just go to python.org, and once you come on here, you can go to the download sections, and under that, if you're using Windows, select Windows. If you're using Mac or other OS like Linux or any other flavor of Linux, you can go ahead there. So, or you can just click on downloads here. It will take you to the direct, based on your operating system, it will take you to the landing page. So, as we discussed earlier, there are two versions of the Python currently in existence. One is 2.714 and the other one is 3.64. So, we will be using the 3.64 version because that's going to stay for a longer time, as 2.714 will be discontinued shortly. Now, you can also download the Python releases by version number. Now, you see that 3.64, then we have 3.5, 3.48. These are the versions that are available for us, but this is the one that is highlighted here is the stabilized version of the Python. So I have you can click on this and download the software. I have already downloaded it. So here is the executive file for Python. Let's double click on it to install it. Now, before you go ahead and install this language, please make sure that you are selecting the option that says Add Python to the path. So when you do this, you will be able to run Python by just going to the Run command window or by typing Python at your terminal or the command prompt window. Let me click on Install now. It is initializing the installation, and you may get the user account control option. Click on Yes there. Now it is initializing the installation. Let's give it a minute to complete the installation of the language. The install is about to complete. A few more seconds. Now the installation is completed. Click on Close, and this completes the installation of the Python. Okay, now next, let's see what we have to do. Okay, now after installation, you can go to C colon backslash Python or the installation directory of the Python to run the program. So this is just a brief about that. Now, what we can do is that if you want to go to Python, you can just go to run and type Python. It will open up the Python interaction window for you. This is the basic Python interpreter. So as you see that typing the Python in the command line will invoke the interpreter in immediate mode. We can directly type in Python expressions and press enter to get the output. Okay, so this is the a simple interpreter. You can run the programs as well, but you have to write the program in the notepad and then execute by coming here. The most easier way to execute and try the program or to debug it is to install an IDE to interpret the program that we will see in the coming steps. So let's do simple arithmetic operations and see how exactly it works. Let's say I want to do 1 plus 3. I get the option that says 4. Let's try some all the arithmetic operators. We have tried multiplication, division, subtraction. So we have got the answer to everything. We can try the equations as well, or complex calculations like 4 into 9 plus 8 into 9. Oops. We get the option that says that these are not the int objects that we have defined. The reason we are getting this error is because we have not defined any of the objects. So these are the simple calculations that we can do in Python. You can store something if like let me show you the famous hello world. Okay, so print is the function that is used to get the output. Now, we can store data in a variable in Python, let's say greeting equal. Here, what you have to do is you have to give inverted quotes if you're typing a text. If you're typing a number, you will not use the quotes. If you type any number in inverted quotes, it will accept that as a text. Now let's try that. Let's say I'm saying 100 plus 100. Okay, you see that it is not adding up the numbers, whereas we do 100 plus 100 should give us 200. So it has considered that as string. A more to identify whether a variable is of type string, integer, or float, you can just use the type command. I'm typing type greeting. Okay, you see here it says it is of class string. You can store data type in a variable. So when I say variable is the text in which you are storing something. For example, I'm typing a equal. So here a is the variable and hello is the data. So we have stored this print a. Now print is a function. So a language or Python in specific is made of three major components: variable, data type, data, and function. So variable will store the data and a function will execute or run a task or do a task on a variable. When I'm saying print A, it will print hello. Or you can just type A and it will give you hello because we have stored hello in A. Similarly, you can store a number as a variable again with the help of inverted quotes. So when a text comes in inverted quotes or a single quote, that means that it is a text, it is not a number. So if I am saying a plus 10, it will not add that. Now let us do one thing. A equal, let's try this. I'm storing 100 in a plus 10. We get the option that says, we get the answer that says 110 because the value of a is 100 and we are adding 10 to that. That means it is 110. So this was the basic interaction in the Python interpreter. In the next session, we will learn about how to install IDE and how to configure that. Till then, goodbye.